open the paper. Okay, so question number 2A. For question number 1, that is MCQs, we had a lot of discussion. So let's quickly discuss those MCQs too. Then we'll move forward, and I'll share the quick answers with you people. Okay, with you. That is, economics is primarily concerned with the allocating scarce resources for unlimited wants. So it's the A option. Okay. What makes choice
Yeah.
an important element in the basic economic problem? It is that limited resources have many alternate uses. So it's B. Which statement about basic economic problem is correct? It is unlimited resources but limited wants. That's not right. That's the opposite. Resources are finite but wants are infinite. That's the correct option. So 3D. For which factor of production is not represented in the list? We need to see this list. This is a list. I don't know why the examiner is calling it a list, because it's in horizontal. The list always comes in vertical shape, but let's take it that way. Bananas are considered as land, factories are considered as capital, goats are considered as land, and a risk taking investor is considered as enterprise. So we have land, we have enterprise, we have capital, so we don't have labor. So labor will be the C option. So 4C is the correct option. A major airline needs a range of people and equipment, which can be divided into factors of production, which is allocated to the people or equipment. So he is asking about us that which of this factor of production fits to the example which is given in the A to D parts. So A is
It's A.
aircraft. Aircraft is fitted into capital. That's okay. Computer network cannot be land. Pilots cannot be enterprise, and shareholders cannot be labor. So A is the correct option for 5. 6. What is a factor of production? An advantage of producing on a large scale? No. A resource used to produce goods and services?
Yeah.
B is the correct option. A student leaves school and decides to spend the next 2 years at a college to improve her qualification. What is the opportunity cost to the student of taking this decision? So for 7, we have the student is leaving the school and decides to spend the next 2 years at a college to improve her qualification. So it will be the money she would have earned if she had been in work for the 2 years. So D is the correct option for 7.
Okay.
For 8, it is asking, the table shows the various combination of food and clothing which a village can produce using all its resources. What is the opportunity cost to the village of increasing production of food from 200 to 300 units? So if you are going from 200 to 300 units, so we have to leave 250 clothing units to 50. So we have to leave in between 200 units of clothing. So C is the correct option.
Yes.
The diagram shows a production possibility curve, which is statement is correct. A movement from X to Y shows a decrease in efficiency of the economy. No, it shows a decrease in inefficiency. B is saying a movement from X to Z shows a discovery of new resource. No, it is being efficient. Movement from Y to Z shows resources are diverted from capital goods to consumer goods. So yes, C is the correct option. So resources
I
are
thought it is
capital to consumer goods. Then last is 10, a firm decides to stop manufacturing ovens and to produce washing machines instead. What is the opportunity cost to the firm? The additional washing machines produced? No. The cost of producing ovens? No. The cost of producing washing machines? No. The loss of the production of ovens, which is loss, which is the next best alternative given up. So 10D option is correct. So we'll go for section B. Let's start reading section B. Rich people in some countries are working for more hours on average than poor people. One reason for this is thought to be that well-paid jobs provide more job satisfaction. Gaining enjoyment from work can lead to high level of production. A is, what is a possible opportunity cost of work? So let's write the answer for this. So question, okay. Question 2A. The opportunity cost of working can be the leisure time. Leisure time is the entertainment time, the free time lost while is while, not white. It is while. So let's, I guess, change that. Lost while working. As leisure time is lost while working, so it becomes the next best alternative given up. Alternative given up. Given up. Or the option left out. Okay, so this is question number 2, part A. What I've done, I have given the opportunity cost, and in the meanwhile, I have tried my level best to in order to give the definition of the opportunity cost. Okay, in such a smart way that the examiner doesn't think that it's a definition. Next question.
Yes.
Explain 2 reasons there will be an increase in labor production.
We discussed this, yeah.
Yes, there are 2 reasons. Now, rich people are working for more hours on average than poor people. And second is well-paid jobs which provide more job satisfaction. So let's,
Yeah, so people will be encouraged to work more if they're well paid.
yes, so let's shift to that. It will be an increase in labor production. Let's start writing from this. We have to leave one line so that the work should be the labor production, or we can call it as the production of labor, can be improved because of the fact that rich people are working for more number of hours on average than poor people. This will this will lead to an increase in this will lead to an increase in the labor production.
So how many marks is this question?
It is a 4 mark as the,
Okay, so I can give 2 points and elaborate on them.
yes, 2 points are more than enough as the output will increase. The output will increase. This is one reason. If you have only identified one reason, so it will give you only 1 mark. I have explained well in this point. Now I'll talk about the second reason. So for second reason, I'll choose the next paragraph. I'll leave one line in between. Now I'll start from here. The second reason for labor production for increase in labor production, let's write that. For increase in labor production means, the second reason for increase in labor production means, sorry, is,
Yeah.
what was the reason? The reason is that
They're well paid jobs.
is well-paid jobs which lead to which will lead to more job satisfaction, and hence the overall output made by labor, the overall output made using labor will be increased. Okay. I'll write over here 4 marks for identification and explanation. Plus explanation. Once you are done with this, then we'll move on to the C part.
Sir, I'm recording the class.
Okay, you're recording, so we can move on.
Yes.
Okay, so moving onwards to question number 2C, I guess. So let's see the question first. The question is saying, analyze using a production possibility diagram how an increase in labor production will affect an economy. So I'll show you this. First of all, what we'll do, we'll explain PPC. Okay, the key term needs to be explained. We need to give a definition. The production possibility curve the production possibility curve shows the production possibility curve shows the maximum number of goods a country can produce.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's write it down. Let's write it down. The maximum number of the production possibility curve shows the maximum output a country can produce of both the goods. And you know what are those goods?
Mm-hmm.
What are those goods?
They're goods and services, right?
No, no, no. There are two goods of PPC.
Consumer and capital.
Yes. So these goods are consumer and capital goods. So we need to be vigilant about this fact that these are two goods which are consumer and capital goods. Okay, so how we will write it down that they are able to produce two goods, that is consumer and capital goods. The next thing we are about to do is the diagram of the PPC. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the diagram needs to be made of PPC. How the diagram will look like? The same usual diagram we make at the start. Do you remember the diagram we make at the start? We make the
Yes. Yeah, you draw the normal PPC and do it.
normal PPC. Okay, good. So what we'll do, we'll make the normal PPC diagram over here.
Yeah, we label the axis.
First, we'll label the axis: capital goods, consumer goods. We'll write the whole thing, that is goods. This is a usual diagram. This is a normal diagram. PPC will be written over here in order to show this. It's up to us I'll suggest I'll write the maximum goods a country can produce, 90 of this or 90. Now afterwards, what I will do, I will show a new diagram. Okay, I will make a new diagram, but before making a new diagram, what I'll write this thing. The PPC diagram illustrates the concept of scarcity and opportunity cost.
Yes.
Opportunity cost, as it can be seen, that either 90 units of consumer or 90 units of capital can be produced. Capital goods can be produced. So this way it is showing the concept of opportunity cost. Now I'll make the another diagram. What do you suggest? What will happen because of an increase in labor production?
The PPC will move towards the right.
Yes, it will move towards the right. Why? Because the overall production is growing. That is the result of that.
Yeah, there's an increase in the economic growth.
Yes. But if you are saying that labor is involved in both the goods, if you are assuming this thing, so we'll say that there is an overall increase in output in capital goods and consumer goods. Okay. So we'll make a diagram. An increase in labor production. This is the diagram of increase in labor production. This is capital, this is consumer goods. Let's consider the same. This is capital goods. If I'm making it like this, and I'm saying that it was earlier 90 and 90. So because of an increase in labor productivity, now labor is able to make more with the same resources. So it will be 110 and 110. So it has moved outwards. PPC 1, PPC 2, which indicates that I have made an outward shift. Okay. This is a growth overall. So now I'll explain this because without explaining this, I will not get any mark for this.
Okay.
As it can be seen, that the PPC 1 shows that 90 units of consumer and 90 units of capital can be produced. Okay. So an increase in labor production has shifted the curve on right hand side. That is economic growth. Or you can also say this thing that's shifted outwards. Okay.
Okay.
Country can now produce can now produce either 110 units of capital and then 10 units of consumer or a combination of both.
Okay.
You agree with this statement, a combination of both?
Yes.
Okay. So this is an end of the answer. For 6 marks, what will happen? We'll get 2 marks here. We'll get 2 marks here, 2 to 3 marks. So it will become 4 marks. So we'll get 2 marks over here for this diagram and the explanation.
Okay.
All together will give me 3 marks, the lower portion, and this all together will give me 3 marks. So it will be 6 marks altogether.
Okay.
I'll suggest that we always start with the PPC definition. If there's a question like this, we should always start with the definition of the key term which is there in the question. Now the next question, which is the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Discuss whether the rich in one country will benefit the economy than the poor in the country. Poor in the same country, obviously. Okay. So I'll shift the screen and we'll write the answer of this. Question 2D. Question 2D. Economy can be defined as, I've already told you that discuss questions involve, this is the skeleton of discuss question, definition plus advantages of that plus disadvantages of that particular thing plus conclusion. This is the style of your discuss question. If you miss any of this, you will lose marks. So definition of what? Definition of a key term.
Okay.
Economy can be defined as the can you suggest what can be economy called as?
Uh, Economy. It is interrelated. It is a larger set of production and consumption
Yeah,
activities. It determines how resources are allocated
production and consumption of goods and services.
and determines how scarce resources are allocated.
So the end goal of this is to produce the services and goods. Okay. According to me, the end goal is this. So if you are
Okay.
saying that we have to allocate the resources, again, the end goal is this. It's up to you. If you want to include that detail, you can include that.
Okay.
Okay, so it is economy can be defined as the production and as the place where production and consumption, as the place where production and consumption of goods and services take place. Take,
Okay.
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 Now come for the advantages. The rich will benefit more than the poor. Let's go for that. The rich.
Okay.
Now we'll go for the advantages part. We are done with this. We'll start this part. The rich will benefit the economy more than the 2 to 3 advantages are required. That's it. More than poor because of high amount of taxes, high amount of taxes, as the rich will be taxed more, will be taxed more. So it will help the government earn revenue which can be spent on the country or on the economy. It's up to you. Second benefit. Now I'll change the paragraph after leaving one line. The rich will spend more. Assuming this, it is assuming this thing that he will spend more, then the money will circulate in the economy. The money will circulate in the economy. In the economy, leading to high level of economic activity, which is better for the country. The rich can help grow industries as the more demand they make, the more demand they make by purchasing more goods, then it will then it will encourage the businesses to grow more. Okay, if people are purchasing more, then obviously the businesses who are there in the market, they are encouraged by this way, and once they are encouraged, they can grow better in their full potential.
Okay.
Now coming to the second part, which is the disadvantages. I'll write disadvantages. The disadvantage of the rich.
The questions are easy, but it depends on the structure of your answer. That's where you lose marks.
Yes. Economics is all about the answer writing technique. Things are technical. Once you understand those things, you will be able to write the answers if you know the things, because these all are dependent on the links. If you break the link in between, you will not be able to answer anything. The rich. Okay, we can write this thing rather than writing it like this, that the rich will not benefit. Will write the poor will benefit more.
Yeah.
The poor will benefit the economy more than the rich benefit the economy more than the rich as the poor will be working more in order to survive. working by the poor will help the country increase the overall output, the overall output, overall output in the economy. Obviously, rich will have to earn his something for his survival, and if he is earning something for his survival, he is helping the country to produce more. Okay, this is first advantage of being of poor helping the country. So the second advantage would be that the poor will the poor will the poor will spend the maximum amount. Obviously, if your income is 2,000 rupees, so you will spend the maximum amount because you are poor. You don't have a lot of money to save. The poor will spend the maximum amount in the market, buying necessities, leading to a good circulation of money, of money. Somehow, the second advantage of rich and poor both are somehow related because the rich will help the country have more economic activity, which is better for the country. But in this case, rich will spend a lot of amount on what I can say on luxurious things, on cars, on ACs, on laptops, cell phones, smartphones, these things. But the poor will spend more to keep up with his necessities, which are there in the market. Okay, and the last thing will be the poor will try to save and earn interest, which will help the banks. Okay, our meeting will end, then we'll rejoin again.
Okay.
Give loans to the other people or to their customers. Okay, now the conclusion part, which is very much important. Okay, let's end the meeting, then we'll rejoin.
Okay.